Hello, it's been a wee while since I've made a video. I thought today I would firstly run through my current favourites, and also we would do a little quick fire round catch-up thing because it's been like 3 months since I've actually made a video, which is kind of wild, and you'll notice that things have changed. As always, I've divided my favourites into categories, and the first category is watch. So let's dive into it. The first thing I want to recommend is The End of the Fucking World. I don't know if it's effing world or fucking world, but it's a Netflix series. There are 2 seasons of it, and basically the first season follows these 2 dysfunctional teenagers. They're 17 and they run away and go on this road trip. So there's Alyssa, she's your typical angsty teenager, and then there's also James, who really believes that he's a psychopath. Go on this road trip together, run away, and a bunch of unfortunate events occur, and I just got really hooked into the show and the characters. Originally I thought it was really weird and I didn't like it, but by the second episode I was like hooked. So there are 2 seasons. The first season follows them when they're 17, and the second season picks up 2 years later and sees where they're kind of at that point in time. 10 out of 10 recommend, obviously, because it's one of my favourites. The next thing I want to talk about is a TV show we're currently watching, and that's called See. I'm going to leave this review very short because I think it's best to go into it completely blind. I had no idea what we were watching. Luke found it, it was recommended to him, and I was just like, sure, I'll watch it. The first 15 minutes I was hypercritical, as I am with basically everything I watch, but it's really good, really interesting concept, and just super cool. But as I said, go into it blindly and let me know what you think. And my only comment is that the water bottle cooler, the office water cooler bottle, will make sense. The next TV show I want to talk about is New Girl. I love New Girl, obviously. I don't know why I said obviously, you don't obviously know that, but I've watched New Girl a lot of times, and I have been recently rewatching it from the beginning. I think I do that like every year, and I love it. It's just so funny. Always makes me either cry or laugh. A lot of the time it's cry, just because like emotionally I'm like, the characters are so beautiful. The friendships they have are so nice. If you don't know about it, it's about this girl named Jessica Day, who is played by Zooey Deschanel. So Jessica, or Jess, breaks up with her boyfriend and ends up moving into a loft with 3 guys, and it's basically being called the equivalent of a modern day Friends. Jess is a school teacher. She's really quirky and fun, and you just get to see her interact with all these different characters in her life, and also the life of these guys in this loft, and I love it so much. It is my favourite TV series, hands down, just as Harry Potter is my favourite movie series, hands down. Speaking of New Girl, the next thing I want to recommend is a YouTube video by Billboard, and Zooey Deschanel quizzed Grace Vanderwaal on New Girl because she's apparently a really big fan, and I really loved it. It was so fun to watch, and you could tell that Grace was a massive fan. She was shaking and crying, and she answered all the questions correctly, and she was just a real sweetheart, and I loved that video so much. Super fun. The last thing I want to recommend watching wise is something I watched actually today, and that is on Alexa Chung's YouTube channel. If you didn't know, she has a YouTube channel. It's very cool. She's doing a dinner party series on how to plan and like do and host a dinner party, and I love that stuff. So this is really interesting to me, and it's always really fun, well edited, and just cool. And I'm interested in how her dinner party goes. Let's go to the reading category. So the first book is Make It Happen by Jordana Levin. This was kindly gifted to me by Daisy for my birthday, and I finally finished it like last month or the month before, and it's really good. It's all about manifestation, but she puts it in kind of modern day terms and an easy way to understand. In each chapter there are exercises and things you can do to really understand the concepts that she's teaching you, and I think that's the best way to learn something, if you back it up with like a practice. So yeah, it's an amazing journey of a read, and it really helped me to understand the concept of manifestation a little bit more. The other book I want to recommend is Wild Embers by Nikita Gill. It's a poetry book, and it was just a poetry book that made me feel a lot of feels and really understood, and it was just so wildly beautiful. Definitely flick through it. The poems are beautiful, all about like growth and magic and courage, and I just felt really understood while I was reading it, and it was very comforting. Today I thought I would include a little music segment. The first band I want to recommend is Sticky Fingers. Sticky Fingers is Luke and my favourite band of all time. Up there with the Kooks for me. And they are a reggae indie rock group, I'd classify it as, and they're just really cool. Have recently been listening to their stuff a bit more because it's summer, and that kind of music like just makes me feel summery and excited for summer. So yeah, I just wanted to give them a little shout out. Luke and I have been to 2 of their concerts in the past, and it was so much fun. It's so good. They're really cool. The second musical thing I want to recommend is K through 12. She released a feature-length film to go with it, and at first I was like, oh, this is really weird, but the music is super good. Like, it's electro pop, really quirky and fun. I actually spent some time learning some of the dances because I'm a nerd. But yeah, I just love the music. It's super catchy, and it's all like empowering stuff like I don't want to be a party or drama no more. On her YouTube channel, she's also releasing really well-made videos, beautifully shot and beautifully edited. Like, she's going through the classes. Today she released one about PE, and the one before was arts and crafts, and I thought that one was really cool. 10 out of 10 recommend you watch, but also listen to the album because so good. My favourite songs, High School Sweethearts, Drama Club, and also Show and Tell. My favourite Sticky Finger song, hands down, are These Girls. It's a very special song. And then honestly just all the albums. So good! The next category is pretty chunky, and it's things. I love the things category. It's just filled with random things I want to share with you, and because it has been so long, there are a lot of random things I want to share. So where do we even begin? Let's start with Harry Potter related goodness, because Harry Potter, awesome. My first favorite is gonna be this. It's a Hogwarts banner in pretty yellow color that matches my house, and the cool thing about it is that I made it myself and I love it. Hand stitched felt, not from sheep. I got synthetic stuff because vegan, and I wasn't sure about the system of it. Anyway, yeah, I made it myself and I love it, and I think it's really cute. So yeah, we were in Typo one day and I saw them. They were making these Hogwarts banners, and I looked at them and I was like, I could totally DIY that, and I could DIY it a whole lot better. So that's what I did, and I'm super proud of it. I love making things. The next thing is something you've seen either on Instagram or you've seen me wear a lot. I think I probably even wore it in some videos here. It is my Weird Sisters t-shirt from AccioBox. I've never actually had a box from AccioBox. That was weird, but I've never bought one of these subscription boxes. But I saw this on someone's unboxing one day, and I just thought it was the coolest t-shirt, so I had to get it. When they released it on the Etsy store, they only had selected sizes, so I had to get it in 3XL, which is super, super large, but also super, super comfy. And it's the softest, highest quality t-shirt ever. Really well made. It's gone through the wash so many times, and it's still like in pretty good nick. Cool thing about it is that on the back they actually have tour dates, and I really love it. You can actually see that Hogsmeade is here on the 12th of the 25th, because that's when they played at the Triwizard Tournament Yule Ball, and I just think it's the coolest t-shirt in the world. The next and last of the Harry Potter goodness is something really small, but it's a little Thestral Funko Pop. And I love it. I brought it secondhand off of Trade Me, which is a New Zealand like auction site like eBay. And for a long time I was like debating whether I should get it because it's plastic, and I was like, is it a waste of money? It was actually only like $7. And I'm so happy I brought it because it's the cutest thing. We named her Astrid, and she sits beside the crystals, and she's just a total gem. She's really cute, and I love her. Thestrals are my favourite of the Harry Potter creatures. I just think they're really beautiful, highly misunderstood creatures, but super gentle and cool and they're just really cool. Onwards with the things category, and let's just stick to like magical goodness. I have a box here and a little baggie. So I'm going to be talking about this company called Thieves & Co. So I found them through Google when I was looking for New Zealand made sage sticks that were really beautiful, and I found this company and they're amazing. This is one of my smudge sticks I brought. I brought a few as gifts and presents, and that's why I was looking for it, and then they were so beautiful I had to buy one for myself. So this is a box that I actually got as a gift from Melissa. It's got like lots of really beautiful dried petals that she hand dries herself, and it just smells so amazing, and it's got these little wiggly wormy things in it, and it's just beautifully packaged. When you open the parcel, it honestly feels incredibly magical. This is the gift I got from Melissa, and it's a happiness crystal box, and it's got like this rose pattern on the front. It's really cool, and then inside you have some gift crystals, and it's just such a magical experience. My next favorite is this drink bottle, which I bought recently. It's actually just from Typo, but I've never seen a drink bottle that looks more me. It's yellow with flowers on it, and I think it's really beautiful. It's one of those drink bottles that you put cold water in it and it keeps it cool, and I honestly just feel like it's the most magical thing ever, so I wanted to give it a shout out. I have these coasters, which is so cool. Coasters, such an adult thing to get really excited about, but Luke actually got these when we were on our anniversary camping trip, our annual camping trip. We stopped at this shop called Green with Envy, and I got these coasters, and each one is totally different, which I think adds to the unique charm of it. And they're just really cute. I love them. They suit my vibe and like my magical house. So on the note of houses, the house, as you'll notice, because it has been like 3 months, things have changed. So we've been doing a massive clearing out. I actually emptied out the entire lounge one day, took everything outside and did a deep cleaner there. And that's one of my favorites, not the deep cleaning, but the reorganization of our house. We have photo walls. They look really cool and I love them. And also our room is all nice and fresh. Definitely a favorite of mine is our new headboard. The week that we got our old bed, I saw that bed from Freedom. It's the Raffles headboard, and I fell in love, and to have it now makes me so happy. Yeah, I'm really smitten with it. Another favorite in the house of mine is the chair that sits outside. So, funny little story. It was outside my mum's house, like across the road from her house. It was old and gross, bits flaking off it, free. Someone was throwing it out, and I was like, this chair is beautiful. I literally got out of the car, picked it up and walked it over to my mum's house, and she was like, you can't take that, it's been sat in the rain for so long. But I took it, and then I brought it home and I painted it white over a couple of days, and it's so magical. I love it so much, and Luke even likes it. So it's really cool. Sitting on the back deck, and it just like adds a bit of bohemianness to our life. Also on the note of house stuff, one of my other favorites is a star map. Luke got it for me. I've wanted one for so long and it was so cool. So it's the map of the stars on the night that we became boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh, it's really cute, really cheesy, and it looks really cool in our photo gallery, and I love it so much. Also fun little fact is that it was a full moon on the night that we got together, and I just think that's really cool. So my last favorite thing is maybe one of my favorites in the favorites video, and that is a feeling stick. So if you watch New Girl, you'll know what this is. The idea initially came from the Grace Vanderwall Zoe Deschanel video. In that video she gave Grace a feeling stick, and it was really cute, and it sparked this idea in me to make my own feeling stick. And then I was rewatching the series, and that episode came up where the feeling stick was there, and I was like, I have to do this. So I designed the stick in my brain. We went on our annual camping trip to Tawharanui, and we spent ages like just scouting out for a stick. We found a stick. It was a bit longer. I brought it home. We chopped it off, sanded it down completely. I sanded it by hand and then started decorating it, and it's so cool and magical. So I have like yellow thread, some lines on this side. The cool thing about feeling sticks is that it says feeling stick on the beads. So I found these wooden beads actually just from Kmart, and I wrote feeling stick on it, and then there's also little tassels on the bottom, some star charms, and also rose quartz, because rose quartz is a good crystal for connection and communication, and also like love, obviously, and family. And we're using this with the girls to foster more communication in our home, because that's one of my current goals, is to foster more connection and communication in our house, which is why we've been kind of also doing a bit of a redesign to make space for like play, connection, communication, and stuff like that. So this is one of the elements of it, and I love it. I just think it's the most beautiful thing. So how do you use a feeling stick? It can be used in like conflict resolution. So someone's feeling sad and you don't know why, or someone's angry or upset about it and they're in a fight. You just be like, I feel really sad that Luke yelled at me, and then Luke will be like, I feel really angry that you did this thing that made me upset, and that's why I yelled at you. And we use it with girls. Also, we're using it in our nighttime routine, which I think I will talk about a little bit later. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. The next category is a recipe. It's just singular recipe I want to give a little shout out to. There's actually some in the kitchen, but I don't want to get up to get it. But that is vegan raspberry muffin from It Doesn't Taste Like Chicken. She has an amazing blog, and her recipes are really good. And these raspberry muffins are amazing. So you can do it with any berry, but I like to use raspberry because that's my favorite fruit. So muffin, raspberry muffin, but then on top it has this like apple crumble kind of vibe, crumbly aspect to the top, and it goes all crunchy and delicious, and it's so good. Like the best muffins I've ever made, and I think in the future I might make a vegan muffin video where I share 3 of my favorite muffin recipes, which might be fun. Let me know if you want to see it down below. The last category is a new one, and that is soul foods. So soul foods are just things that nourish your soul. And I think I'll make an entirely separate video about soul foods in the future. So I wanted to add a few little things which have been my soul foods over the past 3 months that I haven't seen yet. Morning routines. I've gotten really good at my morning routine, and it's become a really sacred thing that I really value, and it's like a non-negotiable for me now. My morning routine consists of meditation, and I like to use Insight Timer for it. And then after meditation, I go into morning pages, which is just like a brain dump journal situation where I just get it all out. My morning routine just really sets me up for a good day, and I've noticed that when I do it and I keep this regular practice, I'm valuing and honoring myself, and also making space for like ideas to come through and stuff like that. On the note of things meditation-y, Breathe Loft. Breathe. It's a mind gym in Auckland, in Parnell, and it's amazing. It is so good. I was so scared and so nervous to go when I first went, but I'm so glad I did. So they do a lot of things. They do journaling classes, meditations, sound baths, which are amazing. And for a while, I was doing a Thursday night there where I would do a journal class, and then I'd go to the sound bath, and I'd leave on a real high vibe. It was amazing. They also do a lot of workshops and different things. So I went to a compassion workshop with Anna, and I also went to a women's intuition and manifestation circle thing with Olivia, and both of them were really amazing. What I have recently been incorporating into my life, and this past week I've been doing it, is Yoga with Adrienne's calendar. She releases a calendar every single month. In January, she'll be doing her traditional like January series where there's a new video every day, which is amazing and awesome to do. And this one is the Joy December 2019 calendar, and I started doing it, and I do it after work, and it's just so great. It's really good to stretch and also have to have that quiet time for myself where I nourish my body and my soul, and it's really awesome, and I love highlighting it off. The next thing I want to talk about, soul food wise, is Homebody Club. They're an Instagram page but also a blog, so they're basically for the modern woman. The specific thing I want to mention is the newsletter. It's always filled with really interesting articles that I really want to read, and also other links to things on the internet that she's been loving lately. I can highly recommend it. So if you need some goodness added to your life, check them out. It's like just getting a little love letter to your inbox, and with reminders and tools and things that can help you grow in your wellness journey, and also like mindfulness things. My next soul food thing is actually what I'm reading from, and this is my bullet journal. I finished my previous bullet journal, so in September I started this new one, and obviously it's going to be finished by the end of the year because I use it so much. This notebook, if you're wondering, is actually just from Kiki K. And I just, when I was away from YouTube, I got really into bullet journaling again, just because it helped me to keep track of everything that was going on in my life. And I also got super crafty with it, and I found it to be a super relaxing and kind of therapeutic time in my week where I'd sit down and start planning things out. More recently, my weeks have been super simple, which is the great thing about a bullet journal. You can go really in depth and really detailed and really pretty with it, but you can also do it really simply, and it's been so helpful. I love keeping all of my ideas in one place, and I'm such a planner. Like, I just like having everything written down and stored in one place, because otherwise my mind feels like it gets pretty chaotic. So having this place where I put everything down is really important to me. I also started including in the corner of each weekly spread a little weekly fun. So I've started prioritizing fun each week, and also prioritizing a rest day, because I realized that those two things are really important to me, to do the things that are good for my soul, rather than just being like go 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 all the time and like not having space to just blob out and be. I love rest days. They're my favorite. The last soul food thing is something I heard from Olivia, Love by Olivia on Instagram, and it's like a mantra. It's safe to be seen, and it just felt really freeing to me, because one of the things that I've really been working on over the past forever is trying to be able to stand in my authenticity and be okay with just being myself. And I think I am really scared of being authentic and being me, because it's scary. Like, if I hide, which is what I've done a lot in the past, it's safer, because if I get rejected, I won't be getting rejected for me, I'll be getting rejected some fake person. It's not really me, it's just a mask I wear, so it hurts less. So that mantra is just something that's been really good for me, really expansive for me. It is safe to be seen. Oh, so that was a lot of stuff, but that closes off my current favorites in soul foods. And now I'm going to move to a quick fire catch up. I'm super aware that this video has been really long already. It has been 3 months, so bear with me. Okay, I resigned from my video editing job, and I actually have started work at a doggy daycare. So it was my first week this past week, just gone, and it was super exhausting. I honestly don't know how I feel about it yet. It's a massive adjustment and change for me, because I'm used to working on a computer, I'm used to sitting down, and now I'm moving all day and I'm really exhausted and my feet hurt, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm going to give it a month, and I'm being really open and assessive of whether this is the right decision for me, and we'll just see how it goes. Luke and I are staying in this house, in this space. Initially, we had decided to move out in November. That's when our lease was up. And we wanted to move out because the landlords here wouldn't allow us to get a dog. We told them that, and then they were like, oh, actually just stay for another year and you can get a dog. So we decided to stay because it would be so much more easier. So yep, staying in this house. That leads me to 2 extra points. That's the reason why we've done this whole shift around of the house. The whole house is completely changed and moved, and shifting everything has really helped me to feel like we've got to really update the energy and the vibes of the place and make it all nice and new without having to move out, and to give me the feelings of being really house proud, because I was so excited to move that I ended up being really disappointed that we weren't moving closer to a beach and closer to where I wanted to live and where I wanted to go in life. I got really sad about it. So to combat that, we redecorated everything. The office is actually now in the lounge, which is handy when filming videos, because if it stops recording, Luke's sitting right behind the camera and can just press it again for me. But yeah, office is out in the lounge. Kira has got her own bedroom now, and everything has shifted spaces, but it feels so much good, so much better, and it's really beautiful and I love it. The second note of that, we can get a dog. I've wanted a dog in this house for the whole time we've been here. So we've been in here for nearly 3 years now. We actually went and met a border collie in the pound because we really want a border collie, because I don't know, that's just what we've fallen in love with. But I also really want to adopt a dog because it aligns with my values that I wanted to adopt. So when we first started looking, I knew that there was a border collie at the Auckland City Council's shelter, the animal shelter. So we went there. She wasn't available for adoption, but I was like, hey, I know you've got a border collie and I want to meet her. And we went there just to like start a conversation with us, and we ended up going for a meet and greet with this dog. She was 7 months old and she had no information about her. They didn't know where she came from or anything like that. We had this meet and greet, and there was a little part of me, I got so nervous because I was like, what if she doesn't like us? She wasn't really interested in us, and I think my intuition really was, this isn't gonna work out, but I persevered and I got super attached and I fell in love. Ultimately, we had a meet and greet before she was available for adoption, before she was even advertised, and before she had been temperament tested. So they did the temperamental test on her, and they said that she's not suitable for a house with kids, and I was heartbroken. And I tried to push them because I was like, I work at a doggy daycare, like we're going to give her everything she could possibly need. I really want this dog. And they just gave us a flat no. And yeah, I was really heartbroken about it. And since then we have really slowed down the look for a dog. Probably won't start looking again till next year, just because it's so busy and it's a hectic time of year. But the cool thing about having my new job is that I can take my dog with me, which is really awesome. So we'll see how that goes in the future, and of course I'll keep you updated. I went through a massive burnout about a month before I resigned from my job. So I had booked a week of leave because I had jury service, and then I was like, I am so done. I am so empty. I am so energetically drained that I can't do this, and doing jury service was actually really anxiety provoking for me. So I got my therapist to write me a letter and got out of it, and I ended up taking the week off, and I just sat around the house all week trying to recover from burnout. I got really burnt out from my job because it was a lot physically and mentally. My job was tied really heavily into, it was basically a place of trauma. The building was linked a lot to my depression and anxiety. So having to go there a lot was really anxiety inducing, but also the work, I poured 1,000% of myself into the work, and it left me feeling really empty. So I ended up taking that week off, and that's when I coincidentally ended up getting 2 job interviews. I got offered both jobs, and both were at doggy daycares, just in 2 different places, and I ended up picking the one that's closer to my home, so I don't have to travel all the way into the city to go to work. But yeah, so I needed that week off. Also, because of the burnout, a lot of my creative projects stopped, so I realized that I had probably been burnt out since September when my nan died, because we were short staffed at work that week, and during that time my nana died, and I only had like 2 days off of work, and then I went back and I was back in full mood, and I didn't have really time to sit with my pain. So yeah, a lot of my creative projects stopped because I was feeling this burnout, so I haven't been painting, reading, or making YouTube videos, and it's really only now that I'm starting to get back into things. I was making like the odd occasional crafty thing, like the feeling stick and the Hogwarts banners, but a lot of my creative energy, a lot of my creative side projects just stopped. During that week that I took out for my burnout, I actually just watched a lot of the old Harry Potter behind the scenes videos, movies, and they were so good. I just sat in bed a lot watching that, and it was just made me happy. One thing that I did do while I was away was another creative project, which was like completely and wholeheartedly for me and actually for other people. So I made care packages for 5 of the people that I admire and love in my life. So I actually filmed me making those. I just kind of vlogged it. If you're interested in seeing it, let me know. After I had done it, I was like, oh, I probably won't share it because it was never for the internet. It was just for these people, because I really appreciated everything that they do and all the light and love that I received from them. So I wanted to make them little parcels and presents, and I had so much fun because I love putting parcels and presents together. Like, making care packages is one of my favorite things, and obviously don't do often because it's quite pricey. So yeah, made these care packages for these people, and it was so fun. I ended up going real hard into branding and stuff. I got stickers made, and I got a stamp made. I also made these little inspiration cards, which I love. I designed them and then went and got them printed, and this one was on my wall. It says, "You are magic manifested, create space for magic to happen, never forget how wildly capable you are." And I just, like, that's a photo I took. I am made of stars, 93% stardust, which is a poem from Nikita Gill, and then the other one I made is this Ginny Weasley quote that says, "Anything is possible if you've got enough nerve," and I love it. So yeah, I had so much fun doing it, like making the branding and the stickers and the stamps. I went hard. So yeah, that was where a lot of my creative energy went into, making these care packages. This past month in November, Luke and I went on our annual camping trip to Tawharanui, and it was magical. We swam with, I inadvertently swam with stingrays. So, little story, I saw stingrays the day before, but I didn't get it on camera. I vlogged it, so that vlog will be up soon, I guess. Yeah, didn't get it on camera very well, so I was really upset. And then the day we were leaving, we went down for a walk on the beach, and then I was like, oh, I've got to get in the water. I have to swim, because I love swimming in the ocean. I just love the water and being like held by it. I don't know, I'm such a cancer. Yeah, so I jumped in the water, and then there were just stingrays, and it was beautiful. We ended up printing one of the photos behind me of me and the stingray. It was so magical because stingrays are one of my favorite animals. And then we saw a family of orca whales, and it was a little bubba, and it was just so cute and so magical. And it's my favorite time of year, our annual trip. Always on our anniversary, and it's just really cool. I actually ended up getting sick. It was after I had my last day at work, ended up getting sick, and we had to come home a day early. There was a whole lot of drama around the camping trip because car broke down, had to come back to Auckland, get our car and go back again. But it's all on the vlog, so you'll see that in the future. We went and saw Frozen 2 quite recently with the girls. Mixed feelings about it. I walked away feeling very confused. And then I just watched a video about it. about how weird the story is and how it's not really fully formed, and it kind of felt like it was a first draft or maybe like a third draft, but it didn't feel quite complete. The storyline was a bit all over the place. Aesthetically really beautiful. I wanted to see more of the baby reindeer because they looked so cute, and I was really confused about what happened in this story. So I'll link that video down below if you're interested in watching someone's review, but it was good to kind of feel and hear someone saying the same things that I was feeling, because I was like, I don't get it. I actually don't get the story and what it was about. Like, I get it on a superficial level, but deeper, it just feels really wishy-washy and confusing. But in saying that, I did enjoy it. It was cool to see them, and it was a really fun movie. Started doing more mindfulness activities, and like we've called it mastering mindfulness with the girls, and I really love that because mindfulness and well-being, I'm so into it obviously, and getting to share it with the girls is super cool. So the feeling stick is one of the things we've been doing, and we also implemented a nighttime routine, and we're doing all these kind of fun little activities and lessons about being mindful and learning more about your emotions and how to deal with them, and the girls are journaling, and it makes me happy to be sharing something that I'm so passionate about with the girls. So that's something that we've been doing. And then the last kind of major thing that's been going on in the month of, towards the end of October, I started diving deeper into my self-love journey. So I feel like I've been on this wellness journey for a while now. It's been like 3 years of, how long have I been diagnosed with depression for? I don't know. It's been like a while when I've been on this journey and learning about wellness and the things I can do to manage depression and stuff like that. And I feel like in the past month, I really delved deep into self-love and learning to be kinder and gentler to myself and add all these things into my life that helped me. So obviously one of the big things was leaving my workplace that didn't bring me joy, that brought me a lot of anxiety. I also am doing one of Daisy's courses at the moment, Love Life More, which is a group coaching program, which has been great to help give me a structure of things to help me grow and like learn and develop. And then I've also been doing one of Lacey Phillips' courses. It's just an 8-day course, but I've been taking it really slow, and I'm doing Inner Child. Lacey Phillips is a manifestation instructor or something like that, but the Inner Child one is about working through your past hurts and all your childhood stuff so that you can become a better manifester. And one of the other things that I've been really trying to do is be comfortable with embodying my authenticity and who I am, and really just feel safe to be seen. So yeah, I've been really diving deep into that stuff, and I could actually and I've also been going to breathe a lot, and I could actually see proper change and a proper shift in me, and that felt really good, because for so long with things like anxiety and depression, real big mental things, you feel like you're quite stuck in the same place for a long time, and then suddenly you'll just see that you've been making all this amazing changes and progress. And usually I don't see that type of progress, but to look back on it and actually see the change was like a moment where I was like, whoa, like I can physically see me changing and me growing and my anxiety diminishing, and like I could actually see how I've progressed, and it made me feel really proud of myself, because this has been such a long journey. So yes, that's where I've been at for the past month. I have a lot of videos that I filmed that need to be edited, which I probably do some tonight, and I haven't kind of planned anything or scheduled anything, but I did want to start making videos again regularly in December, so here we are. I think one of the cool things I want to start doing, is because I'm so creative and crafty, I want to start including more DIYs into my channel. So I have 2 kind of DIY ideas that I want to turn into videos to share with you. So yeah, that's something that I'll be doing, but always primarily on my channel focused on wellness, well-being and plant-based living, and then my DIYs will probably be centered around that. Also sharing vlogs, my usual content. If you have any video requests, please do let me know. Any requests you've made over the past 3 months, I have written them down and I will make them, because there's one that I'm particularly excited about, which is like vegan baking essentials and where to find them and how to use them. It's just going to take me some time. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you have any requests or any specific things that you want to see or that will help you and help grow you, expand you. Just let me know, because I am open to ideas and I am super excited to be making videos again. Anyway, you can always find me on Instagram at lovefromb_ because love from B is taken, or my personal Instagram, which is at Beers for Brittany, which is where I share more of my family orientated stuff or just random goodness that I want to share. Yeah, that's me. I have missed this. Interested to hear what you've been doing over the past 3 months. Let me know. Give me a quick fire catch up, because I'm really curious. Tell me what your favorite thing has been from September to now. And I know that's a real big expanse of time, but just one thing that comes to mind. Sending you all the love and light, and thank you so much for watching.